stop. These 5 things could get your eBay account banned or restricted. We're gonna go over all 5 of them in this video, and I also have a bonus PDF for you that you can download. It's a guide to help you prevent your account from getting restricted, and it's also going to tell you what to do if your account does get restricted. That's coming at the end of the video, so let's get into it. What's up guys, Paul here from dropshippingtitans.com, where I teach people just like you how to start and build successful and safe eBay dropshipping businesses. What most people don't realize is that there is a difference between getting your eBay account restricted and getting it banned. When your account gets banned, it means that you are never supposed to be able to sell on eBay ever again. It rarely happens, but it does happen. A restriction, on the other hand, is just temporary. It's eBay saying, look, we found something wrong with your account. If you just go fix it, we'll let you start selling again. So these 5 things I'm going to go over could result in either a restriction or a ban, depending on the situation. And you want to avoid them if possible, but as you'll see, you're not going to be able to avoid all of these. So let's get into them, and I hope they help you out. All right, back home, it's just way too cold out there. So, number 1 reason, the first reason that your account might get restricted is, believe it or not, if you start a brand new eBay account. A lot of times when you start a new account, eBay is going to send you a message right away letting you know that your account's been restricted until they have verified that you are who you say you are. They'll send you an email, ask for some identifying documents. Once you send over those documents and call them up, they'll lift the restriction. Pretty easy one, but it does happen to people from time to time. The second reason that your account might get restricted is if you scale up too quickly. This usually happens if you have an old account that you haven't been using for a while with a really high listing limit, and you suddenly come in, go from 0 sales to a high volume of sales really quickly. It doesn't really happen usually for new sellers because new sellers do have listing limits, meaning you can only list and sell a certain number of items every single month when you're first starting out, and then eBay will raise those limits later. But for some people, this is a problem. It does happen, and all eBay is going to do is temporarily restrict your account. They're just going to ask for some information, which we'll cover later in the video. You get them that information, and they're going to lift the restriction on your account. Now, this is not something that I think most people need to worry about, and I think scaling up quickly is actually more of a good thing than anything else when it comes to eBay. But just be aware that it does sometimes happen to people. So the third reason that your account could get restricted or banned, and this will probably result in a ban, is if you try to manipulate the system in any way. So this includes things like buying a lot of items on eBay that only cost a penny. We call these penny items. People buy a lot of these to try to get quickly a lot of positive feedback. I think you can do a little bit of that, but too much of that, eBay does not like when you do that. Also, things like buying items from your own account so that you can give yourself positive feedback or to generate sales, that's a no. eBay does not like that at all. If for some reason you have auction listings, then it's really obviously bad to bid on your own listings in order to increase the price of them. Another thing that will definitely get you banned from eBay if they find out. The fourth reason that eBay might ban or restrict your account is if you're not careful with your metrics. You don't want your metrics to totally tank. So keep up with any cases that are open for returns or item not received cases, both on eBay and PayPal if it still exists by the time you watch this video. And make sure that you're getting items out to customers, you're uploading tracking numbers, all of that, getting good customer service. eBay wants to see this, especially if you are a new seller. If you're a new seller, any small problem can really impact your metrics very, very quickly. Once you get higher volume of sales, then a small problem here or there, it really is just a small problem. And having one defect on your account or a couple of negative feedbacks isn't such a big deal once you're a higher volume seller. But in the beginning, you really want to keep those under control because if you mess them up, eBay could restrict your account or even ban you if you're doing really bad as a seller. So the fifth reason I have for you why your account might get banned or restricted,
or worse, expelled.
is if you list up too many VeRO items. VeRO stands for Verified Rights Owner Program. These are items where the manufacturer doesn't want you to use their stock images and their stock description without their permission. Technically, those images and descriptions are copyrighted and they can prevent you from using them if they want. So you list those items, a lot of times you're gonna get away with it. I'm not gonna lie about that. But sometimes eBay is gonna come in and say, you're not supposed to list these, we're going to take down those listings. And hopefully that's all that happens. But if it happens too often, eBay could restrict or even ban your account. So you do want to stay on top of it, and you do want to avoid listing those VeRO items as much as possible, especially if you're a new seller. The majority of new sellers that I've seen who have gotten restricted after they've gotten over the initial phase of just starting an account, the number one reason is because they have too many VeRO items in their store. So avoid it if you are a new seller. If you want to take the risk later, that's up to you. So if eBay does temporarily restrict your account, they're going to send you an email that's called an MC011 notice. It's going to basically outline everything that you did wrong, and they're going to also ask you for certain documents in order to lift the restriction. Now, basically, all they're looking for is usually proof that you are who you say you are. So they're going to ask for a photo ID like a driver's license, a utility bill that has your address on it, and then a lot of times they're going to ask for invoices for the items that you purchased, that you're selling on eBay. They want proof that you have those items. But what do you do if you're a drop shipper? Because you don't have these items in stock, so how can you give invoices or receipts for them? Well, if you've already sold the items on eBay, then that means you bought them from your source. Just give eBay those receipts from your email, and those have worked in the past for people who have gotten restricted. Otherwise, I've heard that other drop shippers have just told eBay, look, I am a drop shipper, I don't have these in stock, but I have an arrangement with a supplier, and that's where I get my items from. And I've heard that that works as well. So once you get all the documents sent out to eBay, give them a call, let them know, and ask them how long it's going to take. It usually does take a little while, so just be aware of that. But if hopefully everything goes well, they will lift the restriction on your account. Now, one thing you want to know is that if they lift the restriction, usually what ends up happening is that they lower your listing limit for a short period of time. So you're not going to be able to sell as much as you were allowed to before the restriction happened. So just be aware of that. Now, before we discuss what you should do if your account gets banned, if you found this video helpful so far, give the video a thumbs up. If you really love the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you have any other ideas, or in your experience, you've received a restriction or ban for any other reason, drop that reason into the comments so that I can put those into a future video that I make on this topic. If you do get banned from selling on eBay, then usually there's not much that you can do to kind of get out of that situation. So what you would have to do if you still want to sell on eBay is either sell under a family member's name using their address and their account, or you're going to have to set up a stealth account. A stealth account is one that's not linked to you at all. You have to create a business, put the eBay account in the business's name, get new bank accounts. I know people who have done it successfully. I personally have never done it, but that would be your next step. So as promised, I have a free guide for you that you can download to help you out, to help you avoid any sort of restrictions or bans. And if you do get restricted or banned, it gives you a step-by-step telling you exactly what to do to get that restriction lifted. So if you are interested in that free download, that will be the first link in the description of this video. Check it out. Hope you guys like it. If you do, give the video a thumbs up. If you love it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching.